Hello, beautiful one. Let's talk about trauma. This will be a multiple part video in different parts on Instagram. What is trauma? So, when I talk trauma, which is a Greek word, and if you translate it, it means wound or being hurt. I mean generally not the clinical term PTSD, not one event, though that might also be part of it. But what I mean usually happens in childhood or sometimes when we are young adults, where we experience violence in some kind, where we are not seen as humans but more as objects. So, example, when you have been yelled at as a child, that's trauma. When you have been called names, that's trauma. When you have been violated in a physical way, when you have been hit or abused or sexually abused, that's trauma. When people have forced you to do things, when they have forced their will on you and you couldn't escape because you were in the weaker position, you were little, that's violence and that caused trauma in you. When your parents forced you to wear what they wanted you to wear, if you are not a thing, you are a human, and you have freedom. Just because you're born, you are a free person. So the moment they do that, they force that on you, you experience trauma. And so if you experience violence, and it's like the normal environment for you as a little human, you will of course develop coping mechanisms to deal with that, which often are self-harmful. They were necessary, of course, when you were little, like spacing out because you cannot leave the situation, or being aggressive yourself, like you yell and you call people names and you are aggressive, violent against others. You treat others as objects that they have to do what you want, and you don't see them. So you do that to be able to survive such a situation. You distance yourself from your emotions, and when you distance yourself from your own emotions and you don't feel what you are feeling, you also don't feel, of course, what others are feeling. And if they suffer, you don't feel that. This is why you even can do such a thing then later. And it will feel normal to you. You might not even, detect that you're doing it, because this is the environment you grew up in. There is no other environment that you know. You might feel on some level that something is off, but maybe you cannot put a finger on it yet. Okay, so now let's talk about why you want to know your triggers and why you want to learn to find different ways to cope with them. So the main reason always is because you want to be more peaceful. You want to live a more peaceful life with you. Nobody wants to live in violence and be in survival all the time, because this is what survival means. Survival means you all the time feel there is this necessity to be in tension, to be in alert, to expect something bad to happen, and to be ready to defend yourself, to either run away or attack back. And when people start that process in the beginning, it has often to do with other people, like their behavior against other people, and that they don't want to be perceived in a certain way. But really the thing is not that. The thing is you have to live with yourself after that. You know, when you attack someone or you call someone names, when you become aggressive, you will have to live with that, with yourself, with that experience that you had, that you jumped out of your center. And I don't think anybody wants to be like that, you know. So I think people are very afraid sometimes to look at these things and to look at, like, if you grew up with violence, you are capable to go there like that, and to explode or to become really nasty when you get hurt. And I think people, like, they have this barrier, they don't want to look at this. Don't know if they feel ashamed, or maybe they do, or maybe they feel afraid that if they look at this it will just blow up in their face. But people, we have to look at this. You have to, it's okay, don't blame yourself. It is what it is anyway. This is just what you have been conditioned in. This is not that the way it has to be. But before you can change it, you have to understand what's there. You have to look at those things. You have to have compassion with yourself. You have to understand this. You have to know, okay, if I'm getting hurt, this is what could happen. Or maybe it doesn't happen in an action, but this is, how I would feel. This is maybe so much anger that I would feel, or so much maybe I would think thoughts that I don't even want to think about other humans. But it's the place where I think this is what scares people that experience trauma, or holds them back. Maybe it does scare them to take the time and sit down and look at all those things. Because really, if you are like on the path, and if you're watching this video, if you are on my page, you have some kind of interest, to grow and to develop. If you have interest to grow and to develop, you want to do things different. So you don't want to repeat that stuff that you have experienced and that comes automatically because it has been, just trained into your mind. And yeah, I understand that you don't want to repeat that, but if you don't know what's there inside of you, how can you, first of all, let it go, and how do you know even where you start? You have to know your starting point. We talked about this before, when you have a map, you want to go somewhere, you have to know where to start to calculate the route. Put in Google Maps. You have to put in, where am I now, or which point do I want to start at? So you have to know, you have to look at this so this is where I could go if I am really, really hurt, And and also know, I have been really, really hurt. There is a very, very vulnerable part in me, and I was supposed to be protected by the people that were responsible for me when I couldn't take care of myself yet because I was too little. They didn't do a good job in this area. So now the next part. We don't look at this to blame our parents, grandparents, whoever. We don't look, because they did what they could. They are probably traumatized themselves. They had tough lives. we don't do that to blame them. We don't look at the picture to blame them. It's not about blaming. It's about really, as I said, you have to look at things and understand, where am I at? What happened? What did I experience? What did I learn? What was the message? Was the message that, you know, this is a safe environment and I can just relax and everything will be fine and I'm always protected and everything will be just, you know, easy? Or not? Was it, no, I have to be always cautious, because even those people, you know, even people that you would expect, or even people you think they love you, and even maybe they do love you in the way they can, though, you know, I don't think this is really love, but okay, it's the capacity that they have, let's call it love for now. Even they hurt you that bad, you know, even they attack you. So you're not even safe there. This is the experience. And so how does the whole world look with such an experience? So if somebody then comes and criticizes me or whatever I could perceive as an attack, what do I feel? What's necessary? How should I react? It could be that I say, okay, I have to freeze down, cannot, you know, show anything. It could be that I attack back, or it could be that I think I have to show that I'm strong. I have heard that often. I have to be strong. I have to be strong. This is weak. I cannot show this. I cannot show my emotions. It's weakness. I have to be strong. Yeah, why do I have to be strong? Yeah, because I believe if I don't appear strong, I'm screwed, you know? I'm screwed. So this is all trauma, and this is all good to know. It's good to know, and you look at this, how did you grow up? Not to blame anyone, but just so you know. What was the information that the life has given to you when you were little? Because when you were little, you made all these ideas about life. You were perceiving and learning. As you learned your mother tongue, by watching people talking to each other, you perceived how relationships work, you perceived if this is a safe world or not. You have watched people, how they react, if they think they have to appear strong all the time, if they think it's necessary to attack and yell and be violent, because otherwise, you know, they wouldn't be safe. This is all what you learned when you were little. And this is why we look at this in the sessions, or if you do the work on your own or with some book or some online program, you look at that stuff. So you know what you're working with, and you know what you're aiming for, what you want to change. Yeah, I started this video today because I was thinking, and maybe some of you can relate to that, I was thinking sometimes when things make me really, really angry, they trigger me when people are like pushy, or like when they are like have this manipulating, threatening in their communication. And they try to push me to do something, like really forcing, yeah, that's the right word. When people try to force me to do something, that's like, then the thing is, you know, I can set a boundary. Most of the times I decide to ignore it, because the boundary will be very firm. And I was thinking about this. The thing is that I am not worried what they will think about me when I set that firm boundary. or when I even, tell them, this is not okay what you're doing. But the thing is that I don't like to go to that place where I have to be where I have to step into this, into this thing and the voice and the tone, and then it is, for me, it is almost, I have to become like a little violent in my communication. And so I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about me. I don't want to be that person. I know I can be that person because of the way that I was conditioned when I grew up. And there was no like, pink colored communication there. So it's really very easy for me to go there and be firm and be like, who do you think you're talking to? But I just don't want to go there anymore. I think it's really not me. It's just one aspect of the trauma, and it's so sad that we are used to go there so often, that society is just built up that way, that we go there so often. But I think if everyone just is very aware what they're doing and changes a little piece and another little piece inside of them, of course everybody will feel, I can tell you, I feel much better when I'm in peace and I'm not triggered, and this is, no program is running, and I believe everybody else will feel much better, and also then it's good for everybody, So that's the different thoughts on trauma for today. Monday message. Just let it sink in, see what resonates with you, take whatever is good for you. It's your path. You follow your own path, you take whatever is good for you. And I see you in the next video.